Erev Tov Rabotai, we are continuing with our Mishna Yomi, Masechet Bava Kamma. We are up to Perek Gimel, Mishnah Gimel. Today's Mishnayot should be Le'ilu Nishmat, Neria ben Svetlana, Ranbai, Veliyahu ben Burchai, Israel of Chana ben Miriam, Sason ben Ryan, Yoshua ben Shifra, Menuchatam began Eden, Amen, and Avdi ben Chaim Lechaim with the Refuah Shelemav, Daniel Shalom ben Rosa, Betor Shah Chulei Israel. This Mishnah discusses another law about an obstacle in a public domain. Hamotzi et tivno vet kasho lereshut harabim lizvalim. If someone puts out his cut straw or his whole straw, which refers to complete stalks of grain, and cut straw refers to stalks of grain that have been chopped up, if he puts out this cut straw or whole straw into a public place to be converted into fertilizer, the Rav explains after straw rots, it can be used as fertilizer. People would leave their straw out on the street so that it would be crushed by people and animals passing over it, and thereby speed up the process of converting it into fertilizer. V'uzak ben acher, and another person was injured by them. For example, he slipped on the straw and fell. Chayav ben isko, the owner is obligated to pay for his injury. V'chol hakodem ben zacha, and the first person to take the straw acquires it, because the sages decreed that it no longer belongs to the original owner. In order to penalize someone who leaves his property in a public area when he is forbidden to do so, the sages decree that it does not belong to him and anyone may take it. According to this Tana, the owner is obligated to pay damages only if he was forbidden to place the straw in the public domain. However, if he was permitted to leave an object in a public area, he is not obligated to pay for damage it causes, and he certainly does not lose ownership of it. Now, therefore, the previous Mishnah, which requires him to pay even where he has permission, does not follow the opinion of this Tana. Rather, it follows the opinion of Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel, which is cited next. Again, the next Tana, Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel disagrees with this previous Tana. Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel Omer, Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel says, Kol hamkalkelin be'reshut harabim, all those who create hazards in a public place, even if they had permission to do so, at the times of year when farmers would fertilize their fields, it is permitted to put straw in a public area and leave it there for up to 30 days in order to convert it into fertilizer. The previous Tana, who refers to a case where putting out straw is forbidden, speaks of a person who put his straw in a public area at the wrong time of year, or one who left it there longer than 30 days. But again, Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel says, all those who create hazards in a public place, even when they had permission to do so, v'yiziku, and therefore cause damage, chayvin neshalem, are obligated to pay. V'chol hakodem ben zacha, and if you left them there until after the permitted period, the first person to take them acquires them. Now, in the next case, someone became the owner of an obstacle that was already present in a public area. If someone turns over dung in a public area with intent to acquire it, and another person was injured by it, Chayav ben isko, he is obligated to pay for his injuries. Once he acquired the dung, it became his responsibility to remove it so that it will not cause harm, and if he did not do so, he must pay damages. Although he did not put the dung there in the first place, he is responsible for it. As we have learned, even someone who did not create an obstacle must pay for damage it causes if he owns it and did not remove it as soon as he could have. And that is the end of Mishnah Gimel. Mishnah Daled now discusses the very body of a person is an obstacle, a case where the very body of a person is an obstacle in a public area. Shnei kadarin shayu me'alchin ze achar ze. If two potters were walking one behind the other in a public place. Now, the Mishnah speaks of potters who tend to carry large loads because it is more common for someone to stumble and fall when he is carrying a heavy weight. So if two potters were walking one behind the other in a public place, v'nitkal harishon v'nafal, and the first one stumbled and fell, v'nitkal harishoni barishon, and the second one stumbled over the first one when the first one was still on the ground, harishon chayav b'niskei sheni. The first one is obligated to pay for the second one's injuries if he could have picked himself up before the second one stumbled over him. Since he failed to remove the obstacle, which was his body lying on the ground, as soon as he could, he is liable for damage that it causes. He is not blamed for having created the obstacle because stumbling is an unavoidable accident and is not an act of negligence as taught by Rabbi Yehuda in Mishnah 1. Nevertheless, because he owns the obstacle, which refers to his body, he should have removed it as soon as possible. And that is the Rabotai of today's Mishna Yomi. Baruch Adonai Leolam. Amen v'amen.